Minasan konnichiwa, my name is Brennan, and this is my channel, Tokyo to LA.
I'ma pull up in a fest on purpose. Hey, I'ma smoke a jetty and honey bird.
I have acquired many experiences and footage during my travels, whether it be selling the 7 Seas with my buddies, or through awesome aerial footage on the beaches of Southern California. Oh yeah, I have a passion for exotic cars too.
I keep up with Sabrina, she walked too damn fast.
So this is my life. Parties in Tokyo, good times with friends, back to LA, beautiful views.
Is that pretty strong?
Did I mention I play college football?
Swole Bros in this bitch. King Hearn.
You can catch me pretty much anywhere in the world.
Go ahead, do 360.
If you enjoyed this intro and would like to see more, check out the full version in the intro only video.
Let's do this.
You get the bag and fumble it, I get the bag and flip it and tumble it. Straight off the lot, 300 cash,
channel,
can the
Tokyo
car came
LA.
with a blunt in it. Lil' mama a thot, and she got ass, that she gon' fuck up a bag. Pull up to the spot.
I'm gonna wait. I swear I'm gonna wait. Yeah. So good thing about living in California, man. It's always sunny outside. Every day is sunny. It's awesome. So yeah, this video is quick and simple. This is one of the reasons why I left the Navy. Yeah. So I'm gonna go get some donuts real quick though. Let's get out. I just woke up. I don't feel like leaning or anything, so I'm gonna take the S2000. Should be, oh, there it is, right across the street. Go ahead and walk this way. Must be trash day. I wouldn't know. I don't take out the trash. But yeah, man. Alright, cool. Yeah, boy. Let's get these fucking donuts. Alright. In the S2K. I never drive this thing any day. But it's all good, man. This thing's just chilling. Let me go ahead and start this bad boy up. But yeah, pretty much for this video, man. One of the reasons why I got out of the military is because I felt as though some of the leadership decisions was just, I felt like you couldn't really trust some of the leadership that was involved with some of the decision making. And I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with Naval Times or any recent news, but there's a big thing called a Fat Leonard scandal.
This guy, yeah, the James Bond looking henchman, yeah, that's Leonard Francis. He would obtain classified information from naval officers in regards to ships' movement, and when ships would enter port, he would then overcharge the Navy and thus getting $35 million. Sounds like a pretty elaborate scheme. Well, not for the ones that got locked up. This 6'3", 250 pound, look like a football player in a BCS game. However, he is a contractor for Glenn Defense Marine in Singapore. So, how did he swindle $35 million out of the Navy? Well, riddle me this. His swindling techniques included women, lavish gifts such as Rolex watches, more women, vacations, and women. Amongst the 440 individuals involved, which included 60 admirals, a Captain Lausman, along with his wife, accepted a trip to Thailand, which, you guessed it, funded by Francis. Also noted in the federal indictment is the acceptance of a $11,345 Versace bag that Captain Lausman's wife accepted by, you guessed it, Francis, just to put icing on the cake. Alright, so this indictment is actually pretty serious. It goes in. So it talks about a particular time at the Makati Shangri-La Manila Hotel in a presidential suite, you know, funded by, you guessed it, Francis. It had the presence of Lausman along with his rear admiral homies and a quote raging multi-day party with a rotating carousel of prostitutes. This is all according to the indictment. Now, if you emailed Francis in the last 10 years, believe me, your emails have been reviewed. In the case of Captain Shed. So Captain Shed emailed Francis in regards to the time of him and Lousman and their Rear Admiral homeboys and how they consumed $50,000 worth of Dom Perignon, which in this case was all the Dom Perignon in the hotel. But you know, good old buddy Francis got their back. Shed would later then leave breadcrumbs like Hansel and Gretel. It would email Francis and tell him I haven't done 36 hours of straight drinking in a long time. Congratulations, Shed. You just self-incriminated yourself. Now, back to the hotel. This indictment also talks about General MacArthur's memorabilia being used in sex acts. What the? With the Rear Admiral homeboys? And sponsored by Francis? What kind of scheme was that? Well, those involved are doing jail time, I'll tell you that. Well, I ain't talking about no Neymar football numbers. I'm talking pigskin, BCS Bowl, Pac-12. My cousin play at Cal Berkeley versus UFC. Score be 54 to 56 jail time. The sentences that they're passing out be like 56 years for the big ballers, $35 million payback and restitution. Like, they really holding these guys accountable for it, and they should as well too. Where does one find such information? Well, I did a Google search, and since it is the biggest scandal in naval history, it has its own Wikipedia page titled Fat Leonard. That's Francis. You know, the 6'3", 250-pound linebacker from the BCS games. Yeah, that's him. Also note that this guy also did do previous jail time, and, you know, you could take him out the hood. That doesn't mean you could take the hood out of him. Also noted in federal indictment, Francis had his own Thai SEAL team or SEAL Thai team, whichever way you want to refer to it. Anyways, they're up to no good. They didn't carry M16s. However, it was just consisted of a group of women that would meet the ship as they pulled into foreign ports. He would use these women to oblige the high-ranking officers to falling to his swindling techniques. And it worked.
And I've been keeping up with it for the past couple of years. And I've actually, while I was in the military, heard a rumor about what was going on. I just didn't think it was legit, but the amount of money and funds that's involved was well above my pay grade, so I definitely didn't want to be involved. But pretty much, you got some your ship's CO, the captain, was taking bribes. It goes all the way down to like E6s that I know of for the more junior rankings, but then it goes all the way back up to admiral. So you're talking about guys who've been like, those are heavy hitters in the you know, naval sector, man. Those guys are easily making 6 figures a year. They got family, they got kids, you know, and they're taking bribes, man. It's corrupt as hell. Like, a lot of the bribes that they were taking were things of serious monetary value. We're talking like, even to civilian contractors, $250,000 bribes. I know there was one lady specifically. She was living in Singapore. She got a $165,000 bribe to sell some kind of like ship schematics or something like that, or the ship schedule, something of that nature. Another civilian contractor, $300,000 worth of bribes. It just adds up over time. So for the CO, I mean, it's just crazy because when sailors would get in trouble, you know, he enforces the rules that they're supposed to, you know, abide by. It's just ridiculous that behind the scenes, like, this dude legit was just like, he was doing the same thing too, making friends and acquaintances, but then again, he was betraying the country, you know? Like, that stuff is just something, it's way out of my hands. I don't even want to, like, just thinking about it's crazy. This is people that I work with. This is people that, you know, that I took orders from, and they're pretty much selling out their own country, man. It's a bad label to have. That's a bad position to be in. So you have the ship's captain by the name of Lousman, who he was one of the first. I think he got like 56 or 52 years in prison or something like that. Bro, this stuff is serious, man. It's so serious. But so pretty much what he would do, he would recommend to his boss, like, hey, you know, the ship's crew's been doing really well. I want them to, you know, have a great Liberty port, specifically in Singapore. So what happens is you have some people that own the ports of Singapore, and when a military or naval vessel will pull in, I mean, just to pull into a port and port there for a day, you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what he would do is he would make recommendations to pull into specific ports, and the owners of those ports would, you know, they get a monetary value, but him, for making those recommendations, he would get a kickback. You know, and these kickbacks included women. It included travel being paid for him and his family. I just think that's really, that's so nonchalant getting your family involved. But Rolex watches, I'm talking about the ones that cost like 20 grand. And of course, money as well too. We're talking like 400 people, bro. A lot of people involved. Married people, all kind of stuff, man. It's just shady. Don't be involved. And they're gonna get you. Like, if you're involved with that, they're gonna get you, man. They're slowly going down a list, man. They're just getting people left and right. That's why all these people are popping up now. This stuff happened years ago, man. They're getting people now, bro. And I remember I always told my homeboy, I was just like, bro, I'm willing to bet it's people that we know. Because even me, when I got to USS George Washington, the ship was in Port Singapore, and I asked, I was like, yo, why is the ship in Singapore? And I've heard that ship does tend to go to Singapore a lot. And I was like, dude, that captain must really like the location. And then I had a few friends, and they're able to talk amongst each other, and they can get some information that I can't get based upon my pay grade at that time. And they told me straight up, they're like, yo man, we're just letting you know, like, there's some shit going on behind the scenes, don't get involved. I was just like, all right, cool, because that's too much money, man. You start talking about $250,000, I'm not even at that level yet. I will be at that level about a year and a half from now, though. But yeah, that's too much, man, because if you were to get caught with something like that, you're looking at some serious jail time. So I'm just like, man, and these dudes got caught. So I'm just like, bro, this is ridiculous, man. It's just so crazy because it's people that I used to work for and work really close to. I see them every day. They're about to go to prison for like 40 years, 50 years. Man, it's crazy, man. Yeah, it's too much. Yeah, so Lausman, he's one of the ship's CEOs. He was selling. You got a chief warrant officer by the name of Ware. I remember him. I saw him every day. Like I when I got sent to the galley to go work in the galley, like for temporary duty. Yeah, I had to work with him a lot. Actually, he was a really cool guy. He seemed really cool. He seemed really fast with the words, and it's just like, I don't judge people, but I just know, like, from my background, people who are really unique and fast with the words, they tend to, they're really smart. So, like street smart wise too, I'm just like, I don't think he would be the type though, because, he's a chief warrant officer, why would you jeopardize so much of your career? But, yeah, you guys are in bad positions, man. Slowly, it's people that I'm like, yo, they got da-da-da-da, they got this guy. I can't believe it, because I'm surprised, bro. Although in life there's a lot of corruption going on in the world, this right here makes it all worthwhile. Alright, bros. We're here throwing this stuff in the trunk. That's why it's best to have a car, man, some days. But you know what I got though? The Sunny D, bro. Sunny D. Yeah, so, I realize, corruption is actually become like a normal thing. I mean, it happens. I think the best thing that you can do is just not get involved with that type of stuff. But while I was in the Navy, man, like, I don't know what it is, but I'm just blessed with a good gut feeling. But some individuals, man, I just did not really trust them, bro. I did my job by the book in black and white, but some people, man, look at this view, bro. You probably can't see it on the GoPro, but you, like, as far as the eye can see, man, you can just see the curvature of the water over there. It's really nice, the area to live at. But yeah, some people, I just did not trust them, bro, at all. But it's funny, the people that I had a weird, weary, like, gut feeling about are the ones that are caught up in this scandal, man. Shoot. But yeah, so most individuals are being charged with graft, which is you use your position of authority for personal gain. So that's what a lot of people did. Whether they took monetary value or travel expenses, you're still gonna get caught up and you're gonna get caught. So I wouldn't even think, I mean, if you're in the Navy, why are you taking travel bribes? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole reason why you go in the Navy, is to travel. Why would you take a travel bribe? Man, give me the cash or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, don't bribe me to go out to sea. It's just ridiculous, bro. But people took it, so to each his own. You're not gonna catch me doing something like that. But yeah, I'm about to go ahead and eat. Yeah, it's just pretty terrible. For the most part, though, I just always had a feeling.
I got a feeling that
Someone's doing corruption.
But yeah, Captain Lausman, yeah, so pretty much if you violated curfew policies, he'd kick you out. If you didn't do your work correctly, he'd kick you out. If you did something wrong, you're gonna get kicked out. First, you'll probably get sent to the brig, and then you'll get kicked out. But it's just so crazy. Someone that's enforcing all the rules and stuff, they behind the scenes are, Yeah, it's pretty crazy. For the most part, I think a lot of this stuff is really bad timing because, you know, the Navy is really being looked at right now for all the collisions at sea that's been going on. So they've been double checking like the leadership and the training and what's going on and what they can do to help and better the situation, because it's pretty bad. But yeah, for most of those individuals that got caught up in that scandal, I feel as though within the military, because you're talking about guys that's been doing this job for like 30 plus years and whatnot, right? It's a whole different environment. That environment can kind of go to your head, make it really big. But yeah, I think they kind of, you know, overlook the fact that, hey, you still need to abide by the laws. You know, you just can't be like doing that kind of stuff. It's just really interesting. The same people that enforce the rules are the same people behind the scenes breaking them. But I mean, that's something. It's kind of sad. I've gotten used to it. I just recommend don't get caught up with it. And if you do, just don't get caught. It's all on you. I mean, it's a total embarrassment to families and stuff like that. But even more worse, like that is pretty bad. But you're betraying your country in a time of war. You know, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's supposed to be death or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the video. And yeah, I'll try to see if I'll look more into it, see if anything else pops up. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, it's pretty interesting. They are really grabbing people. It takes a few years to process it. People are gonna talk. They're gonna cut deals. So if you were involved and you're watching this video, man, remember, you shouldn't have done that. But yeah, you ain't gonna catch me. I ain't gonna get involved with that stuff. Talking to LA. See you guys later.